Hello, guys. Welcome to my channel LearnTech. This is Sandeep Cole, and in today's video, I will explain you a very beautiful feature of BMC Remedy, which is panels. So, panels in BMC Remedy are basically placeholders where you add different types of fields, and you will create a different designs, different views of a form. We know that when we built an application for an end customer, we have to give different types of views. We have to show him different data in a different format, different designs, and so that we can capture information from him easily. So for that, we create different types of front end forms where we have different layouts which we present to the user to capture the data. Now in BMC Remedy, to capture such information or to give a application like a view to our front end form, we use BMC Remedy. Sorry, we use panels. So BMC Remedy helps us in designing different forms using these panels. So we have different types of panels which will help us in getting this information from customer in a different format, or presenting our information, presenting the form to a customer in a different way or a different layout. So we will today see this. Okay. So for normally for a front end form, when you design and create a front end form, so it is always recommended to you use a display only form. We have already discussed this display only form. What is this? It does not store any data, but it helps us in creating the front end from where we can capture data from customer, and then we can place it in different tables, different forms, as per the need and the requirement of the application. Now, I have also taken one display only form, and on this form, I will create different panels. And then on these different panels, I will show you how we can create a layout, how we can change the layout, how we can do different coloring of a panel, how we can rename it, how we can give permissions. Permissions are very important in BMC Remedy. Unless and until you have a permission to anything, you cannot, like, it cannot be accessible to you on the front end. So permissions are very important. So now we'll start with different types of panels. Okay. So now if you go here in the display only form, then right click, you will get a option to create different types of fields. So in this, you will see we have this section where we have different type of panels. One is tab panel, we have collapsible panel, we have splitter panel, then we have accordion panel holder, and a simple panel. So we will start with tab panel holder. We'll take it in sequence. So if I click on this tab panel, so by default it will give me this view, which will have basically two tabs. Now what is this tab panel? Tab panel is basically where it's a layout where you want to design a form, and you need to capture or you need to put information in different tabs. So for that, we use this tab panel. So once you have added it, you can drag it, you can drop it, you can just resize it. Also, you can rename it. If you double click on this panel, it will open up the properties tab. Properties tab. Then you can here change the name. For example, this is my home screen or home panel. So I will change it. So this has changed the name. Now, similarly, if I now have to add the permission, so that can be done also from the properties. So here you can add the permissions. If I want to give it a public access, I can directly give a public access. But now this permission is again dependent on how your system is, how you're designing it. You can give it a different permission based on what you are building. Similarly, for this panel, you can also do the same. You can rename it, you can change it. Let's suppose I will say this is my, I will give a permission to this panel. Look, I will not take it in much detail. You can explore it. I'll just give you an overview. So this is suppose my main page or something like this, or main panel. Now I have two tab panels. Now on this tab panel, I can also do the coloring. I can change the color. So if I again double click on this, and here if I go to colors, so if I go to this color, default color, then here I can go to custom. You can give a different color to this. So it has the color has changed. Even this background of the panel, you can change it. So if I click here, double click here, then if I go to the background section in the properties, which is here, by default it's white. If I click here, color, something like this, I can create a gradient also, um, but I'll not use it now. So it will be like this, something like this. Then I can add fields to this panel. Let's suppose I will add one field to it, and I can arrange it like this. So it basically creates a different layout of a form, and this panel can be used. So here you can rename your field to something like whatever is your application requirement. You can give it a name, or you can change it, and you can design it. Again, you can resize it to your own need. So let me keep it here. Now, if I want to add more, tabs here, so I can right click, add new panel. So it will add a new panel. So here again, I will give a name. Suppose this is new panel. And then you can do the same, changes, add fields, and then you this uh, the start panel will look as it is in the front end. Now let me go to the again to the current view, and we'll see this collapsible panel. Now you might have seen this in BMC Remedy, that this panel is basically a uh, this one what we saw was a horizontal panel, because this is expanding like this. Here this panel is vertical because it is expanding like this. So here also, if I double click on this, I can change the name to this. Suppose this is a new, I will say new. Then similarly, I will change here the naming to assign. Now you can also write workflows based on this panel. You can write active links, you can write filter, sorry, we can mostly active links. So you can write active links, or you can basically create a workflow to do any operation. So suppose in this new panel, if I click here, if I want to do something, I can do that. Here I can change the this, I can give a message or something like this, like depending on the workflow what you are building. Now this panel, if I just move it here, if I now right click this, so I can move fields to apply fill layout. So these are all different properties. Will not go much detail here. So let me just drag it here. Okay. So now let me go here to the properties. We'll see what else we have here. So permissions also, yes, you have to give the permissions to the panel. Then only it will be visible on your front end. Otherwise, it will not be. It will not be accessible to people who do not have, if you do not give any permissions. So this is the basic designing of your panel. And this split sorry this is a splitter. Sorry, this is a the one drop down panel you have. One more thing in this panel, if you want to, there you can check the layouts here, you can change the layout here for the panel. You can go here, and if you see here, there's a rounded corners. If in case you want rounded corners, you can give it a number. Then this panel will have a rounded corners. Okay, let me not me save it here. Okay, let me add one more panel here, because we will not keep it. Sorry, this was collapsible panel. Okay, now I will add the splitter panel. So this is the the difference between these two panels almost look similar, but the difference is that this one has a navigation, so you can collapse it, and you can if you add something here, and then you can also collapse this panel, and you will have something like this. You can add here more items to this panel. Similarly for but this one, it is not collapsible. It is a splitter panel. You can have these two different panels. You can add something here. You can add a new field to this panel, and it will be something like this. Okay, you can add the field here, but it will not be collapsible. It's a horizontal, sorry, it's a vertical panel, but it is just splitting the information. The rest of the things is same. You can change the name, and you can also you can rename it here. You can rename it, you can change it, and you can use it in the application. These are basically for, as I said, for creating a layout, creating a front end, creating a UI for an application. Similarly, if I add this another panel, which is accordion panel. So okay, so this panel also you can, yeah, so this is also one of the different types of panels where you can have, if more or less it is looks like something like this vertical panel, but it has its own different layout or different functionalities. If I right click here, let me see if what I can do here. I can create a new field here, and then if it you can also add this different panels here. Currently you have only two are added by default, so you can change it. You can add more panels to it, you can change the layout, you can add different type of. Now let me see more properties on the panel. What we have, coloring we have already seen. You can change the coloring, you can change the, you can give the permissions, and you can set the layout. So like people who are familiar with ITSM, they might have seen this, the navigations which were created. But BMC has used these panels also to sometimes to give you this that navigation flow in the applications. So here also you can add these fields, and then you can also have a layout. Okay, now let's do one thing. Let's see these panels on how they look like in the in system. How they look like. Okay, I'm not able to drag it. Okay, let me save this. I have just named it. Okay, there is some issue with the naming. Okay, let me add this a new name. Let me save it. Okay, now I have saved it successfully. Now let me go back to my system, and I will search this. Sorry, it is not coming. Okay, now you can see our, this is our tab panel. This is how it will look like. You can change again the layout, the font, coloring, everything you can change here. So this is how it will look like in the actual system. Similarly, our collapsible panel, it will look like something like this. Then you have this and splitter panel. You can create two sections using this panel. One will be with some information, another will be with some information, but it will not collapse. Similarly, we have this accordion panel. So here also you can like, it's a collapsible panel, but it is with some different layout. So you can also add fields here with some information. Then you can add fields here with some more information, and then you can use it in your applications. You can build different UIs, different presentations, or different ways of capturing data from a customer. So with this, you can accommodate more fields with the precise information, and with an accurate mindset to get the data from the customer. So that's what basically these panels help us. So it will help us to segregate different sections of information. Suppose you want to capture a personal details of a person, you want to capture his professional details or any other information which is a subset, and you want to put it in a on a single form, and you want to just segregate it so that customer also understands what exactly he has to provide here. Then these panels come in picture, we use them and we get the information from the customer. So this is it, how panels are basically used. It is very simple. You can explore it, check it, and then let me know if you need anything else, or if you have not understood anything, I will then explain you more on the panels. It's good from goodbye from me. Thank you. Thanks for watching my videos. Thank you.